First, the starting goaltenders, brought to you by Shreddy's, official cereal of the CHL. Christopher Festorini, he has been busy this year. 9th in minutes played, 52 appearances. His record below 500, but tied for 5th with 3 shutouts. And for the Oshawa Generals, the second busiest goalie in the OHL is Daniel Altshuler, property of the Carolina Hurricanes, #1 with 36 wins, 58 appearances in the top 10 in both goals against and save percentage. And as always, when it's playoff time, goaltending will be a big factor, and so will Oshawa's depth. That's what they're relying on in this opening round series, that they have a little bit more up front than Niagara does.
That's exactly what you want to see. For the Oshawa Generals, you want to go out and get a big bump early on. Who else would you expect to get that than their captain, Boone Jenner?
Coming in again on Jesse Graham. Graham takes the hit, got the puck out, won't be icing. Matt Petgrave, tied for 7th among OHL defensemen, missed a lot of time, still put up a point per game. Brett Ritchie has the puck now. Moves it behind the net to Ryan Strome, and number 18, Ryan Strome, has the puck taken away by Matt Petgrave. Petgrave's pass behind Boone Jenner, and it's an icing against the Generals.
So many coaches like to go out there and get a good start to the game, and it doesn't necessarily mean a goal or a good offensive chance, but just equally as important as a big hit, and that's what Boone Jenner does. Putting in the back of the mind to Jesse Graham and the rest of the Niagara defensemen, if you're going to go back to get pucks and retrieve them, we're not going to stop and wait in some sort of passive forecheck. We're going right in after you, and he sets the tone early on for the Jennings.
And that's been a big hole for the IceDogs since Dougie Hamilton left. He's still their defenseman leading scorer. In fact, he's still in the top 20 in OHL defenseman scoring.
He might even be in the building tonight. If not, surely he's watching his old team on television.
Pitching into the lines, overager Shane Rover. Can't get it past Jeffrey Shemich. He has it taken away by Carter Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe moves it in front, and Brendan Perlini. This is the second line for Niagara. Features 2 17-year-olds and a 16-year-old, and they created a chance on their opening shift.
Well, you know, John Shannon just talked about it. A guy to keep your eye on is Carter Verhaeghe. He's eligible for the draft this year. He does a great job here in the backtrack, and as a result of that, shows some great patience thereafter. Shemich can't get it out of the zone. Verhaeghe brings it back the other way, and instead of driving the net, realizes he's got an option in Perlini. But Shemich recovers to come back to take Perlini's stick away. A good defensive play after giving up the puck for Jeffrey Shemich.
Top line back out there for Oshawa. Tyler Biggs has it poked away from him, and Ryan Strome moves it ahead to Jesse Graham. Altshuler's pass picked off by Brett Ritchie down low. Ritchie using that size, wins the battle, gets it in front, Strome's there. The puck's loose. Oh, it was sitting there for a moment. Nobody from Niagara could get to it. Ryan Strome does here, and what a start for the IceDogs. The big line comes through. Ryan Strome makes it 1-0.
Listen, RJ, there's no question that in order for Niagara to have any success in this series, they're going to need the maximum production out of Ryan Strome and Brett Ritchie. That is no secret whatsoever. Now, applying that and executing is a different story. Brett Ritchie's a big, power-bodied guy. He's able to get his rear end in front to create the first chance, but then again, in good defensive positioning as Ritchie as that third high forward as soon as he gives up the puck. And when that happens, both Shipley and Strome work down low. The rebound is created, and Strome is there to knock it in. Great forward play in the offensive zone by the Niagara IceDogs.
Minute 51 in, the underdog IceDogs get the first goal of the game. Anthony DeFruscia working hard against Shemich, got the puck to the front of the net, and the IceDogs are doing a good job of getting the pucks on the net. Keys to the game tonight brought to you by Irwin Tools. The makers of Vice Grip Groove Lock Pliers invite you to celebrate National Tradesman Day on September 20th.
Marty Williamson, the Niagara IceDogs, will try and relive the past. The last 2 years, the guys talked about it at Hockey Central. Hey, listen, they've been able to upend the Oshawa Generals and end their season. For DJ Smith and his hockey club, they're peaking at the right time. Won 9 of their last 10 down the stretch, and that has a lot to do with everyone being healthy and back in the lineup.
Scott Sabrin with a pretty good pass pickup in his own zone. Couldn't get it deep into the Niagara end, though. Scott Lawton bumped off the puck by Jordan Maleta. Maleta maintains possession behind the net. Lawton gives him a couple of pumps. Sabrin, the bounce pass. Brad Latour, that catch up to Jesse Graham. Graham's property of the New York Islanders. smooth skating defenseman. In fact, he won the Ice Dogs fastest skater competition. We expect to see a lot from him. That dump in hit Scott Lawton and takes a look back at his defenseman, Colin Sulentrop, as he limps to the bench. Lucas Lessia, one of the best skaters in the league. The coaches poll, they voted him the best skater. You saw a little glimpse of it there. That's great. Can't get the puck deep. Brett Ritchie moves it ahead to Shipley. And Ryan Strome is just offside.
RJ, I want to take you back to the goal. And when you have a top line that's played together as Strome, Ritchie, and Shipley have done, you've got good chemistry. Now you'll see as Ritchie goes into the forecheck, then Strome comes up to support the puck thereafter. Whereas Shipley, he's hanging back as that third guy forward. And then he comes in as the second wave. When he wipes out, Ritchie drops back as the third forward who's high. And that allows that shot on goal and then ultimately the rebound to be banged home by Ryan Strome.
Boone Jenner picks up the puck, but he was well over the line, and Generals are charged with an offside.
Well, Boone Jenner's just going to see a ton of Strome and Ritchie in this game. And it's funny because they are similar in that they both like to talk out there on the ice. And so there'll be more conversations going on than puck handling between those two.
Boone Jenner so good on face-offs. Generals are offside, and they played the puck, so that's why the whistle.
I want to take you back, RJ, to the first period of play. And we watched Daniel Oettcher play a couple of pucks, but not with a lot of passion. Here's a simple dump, bad lack of communication. That allows Ritchie to maintain possession. And there's a backhand, and again, really no one there to take it. On a dump in, he bounces it off his own net. That led to a good chance. And then here, just saying, all right, I better pack it in and cover it up. And I think that's probably his best option. I'm not saying you have to be Martin Brodeur, but what I am saying, RJ, is that on those hard rings, on those opportunities, get the puck to your defenseman, you have to put those guys in a better place to do it. Either you stop the puck and get out of the way, or you get it into the corner off the board so that defenseman can swing around and take the pass without having to worry about the forecheckers.
You'd have to think head coach DJ Smith talked about that in the first intermission. That will be an icing just out of the reach of Strome.
Look at Ryan Strome in the year he's had, and a guy that many thought would end up in the National Hockey League, but there were so many contracts given out by the New York Islanders, and they do have some depth at center. And they too figured it would be best for Strome to go back, play in the World Juniors, which he did for the second straight year, and try and finish out his career on a high note. It made for a tough proposition for Marty Williamson, the head coach and GM. Do we move him? Do we keep him? And I think in the long run, the IceDogs will be happy that they kept Strome.
It's been all Generals first 3 minutes of this second period. They outshot the IceDogs 4-0, and they have a goal to show for it. Brad Latour put one on goal, and another shot. That's their fifth of the period. Festorini hung on this time.
You know, on the flip side of that coin, you talk about Scott Lawton, National Hockey League. How about Dougie Hamilton? I think everyone, to a man, knew that they were going to be gone. I mean, Nick talked about it right off the top of the broadcast that Strome and Ritchie were likely to be here, but Dougie Hamilton, no. And he's playing extremely well with the Boston Bruins.
Michael Del Cole already on a 2-point night. Moves it to Biggs. That shot stopped by Festorini. It's still loose. IceDogs able to get a bounce to get that outside the zone. Pretty good first playoff period for 16-year-old Michael Del Cole, registering a couple of points. There he is again, heading to Nets. Jenner gets the puck to him, and that just missed the far side. Tyler Moore sees Jenner in the way, can't go that way, has to turn around. Now he's in trouble because it's stolen by Biggs. He fired one off high. Ritchie battles with Petgrave, and he was able to clear the zone. Ritchie keeps it in, lost the handle, Boone Jenner takes over. Now he gives it away to Andre Kopta. Kopta hasn't scored a goal in about a month. Mitchell Fitzmaurice down low to Brett Ritchie. Shemitz has been in this boat before, trying to control Ritchie along the boards.
2-minute holding call in that first period, trying to handle that big body of the Dallas Stars.
This is Graham working to keep it in. Instead, it's Justice Dundas coming in, and again, the Generals are offside because coming off the bench, there was a line change going on, and that was an odd man rush. Now, Dundas gets a little bit of attention because he put the puck into the net after the whistle went, and he'll get a chance to sit by himself for 2 minutes.
Well, where that bench is located for the Oshawa Generals can be cause for concern. You get a look at DJ Smith, but the door is just beside the blue line, and we've seen it twice called here in the second period. Perfect example of it. The OHL with the blue line is right there, and then the door just to the left of that, so it does put you offside in that second period of play, and we've seen it twice.
Well, it looked like a promising rush for Oshawa. It gets whistled, and then it's a power play for Niagara. And they get a shot early on in this man advantage.
I think that's, do you want to see that being called in a playoff game and maybe add insult to injury? Let's get a look at Justice Dundas. He's in over the line, and you can see where it's awfully close there with Castles coming on from the bench. But at any rate, you're always in peril because of where the bench door is located in relation to the blue line in that second period for the home side.
The Oshawa goal has been knocked off. Minute 47 to go in this power play for Niagara. And now they bring out the big guns. Strome, Ritchie, Stephen Shipley. All better than a point per game this season. All more than 30 goals this season. Jesse Graham to Luke Mercer. Gives it to Strome. Quickly down low to Ritchie. Can't get it in front of the net. Strome back to Mercer. Strome dumps it down low. That's knocked down by big 6'5" defenseman Josh Brown, and he takes it down the rest of the way.
Archie, you talked about Josh Brown in that first period and how underrated he might be when it comes to the National Hockey League Central Scouting Bureau, but I'm with you. He's a big guy who I think has great upside and may end up going higher in the draft than where some haven't projected.
Ryan Strome hasn't been given much room inside that Oshawa zone on this power play. Stephen Shipley gets it to Strome, drops it off to Mercer. Quick puck movement by the IceDogs. Strome has it again. Graham can't shoot. Moves it to Ritchie, put it off the side of the net, and the Generals fire it down the ice. That was close.
And that needed the pool cue angle for Ritchie. He gave it a go, though.
Strome slides it ahead to Ritchie. Now Brett Ritchie has some skating room. That shot hits a stick, and that goes up over the glass and out of play.
A good job by Petgrave because Ritchie's got a heavy, hard shot and a lightning-quick release. And you look at the puck movement by Niagara on this power play. Gets started with Strome, little D to D. And then it ends up eventually on Ritchie's tape, and he's at that bad angle. And again, having to take that puck between his legs, lost some of the leverage that would have given him a better angle to put that puck in the net.
37 seconds to go on this power play for Niagara. They're down by 2. Tyler Mort moves it over to Shane Rover. Rover's shot deflected by Perlini, but it went wide. Mort slides it to Verhaeghe. Pinching down is Rover. That shot hits a skater. Rover has it again. Chance on his first pass. He banks it to Perlini. Now Anthony DeFruscia. Mort. Rover. No shot. That pass hits a stick, and now the Generals clear. Skating after it is Scott Lawton. He'll be the first to it in the corner. Could have been worse for Niagara. Lawton spins, gets it in front of the net. Justice Dundas back on the ice. Oshawa back to full strength. Perlini dances around Petgrave. Verhaeghe ups with his man in the corner. Petgrave tries to find the loose puck. Instead, it's Perlini to has it. DeFruscia double-teamed in the corner. He's pinned there pretty good by Sullentrop, and finally Scott Saburn's able to go the other way. Jesse Graham, forecheck by Castle. Makes the pass to Perlini. Carter Verhaeghe takes a bump from Sullentrop. DeFruscia picks up the loose puck. Scott Saburn, he's bumped by Trevor Peterson. Spins away from that. The puck came out in front. Maleta reached for it. Mac Lemon going for it. Maleta behind the net, and it's Colin Sullentrop who comes up with it for Oshawa. Michael Dalcole waits, wraps it in. Chris Vestorini quickly out of his net to leave it for his defenseman, Luke Mercer. Mercer gets to center, dumps it in. First man to it will be Jordan Maleta. Maleta hit by Brown. Peterson tried to spin away from his check. It's poked away by Daniel Oldshower. A heads-up play by the goaltender.
A good use of stick there by the Generals keeper.
Ryan Hughes moves it down low. Maleta puts it off the glass, gets to the line. Brown's there, so is Johnny McGuire. Lucas Lesio, here's that speed, skating himself into an open area. Now he's in the corner, stops, comes the other way. Mac Lemon. That pass misses everybody, and it won't be on goal, and an icing against the Niagara IceDogs. A strong second period for Oshawa, and they've been rewarded for it.
Hello.
They've seen a lot of each other, these top two lines, and that might continue throughout this series. And in fact, they're out there against each other right now.
Shocker.
Stephen Shipley can't get the puck out. Biggs trying to find the handle. The puck's in his skates. Now he's got it. Pass to Boone Jenner. He spins and fires. Had hit a body, came back in front of the net. Biggs working hard to come up with it. Bouncing puck, and Strome slides it outside the zone, then blocks it from his knees. Ryan Strome has that puck bounce away from him, and that will just miss the net. Well, there's other action going on in the Ontario Hockey League playoffs. Darren.
20 minutes complete at the Odd in Kitchener. Rangers on a 4-on-3 power play. This Ryan Murphy, top, and he buries it. It's 1-1. The first intermission. RJ?
All right, that should be an interesting series.
Yeah, sure should. And going to report from out east. Halifax up 10-1 last we looked. Martin Ferk with 7 points in that game. 4 goals, 3 assists. Jonathan Duran with 5 assists. McKinnon with a couple of goals. So it looks like the Mooseheads are ready to rumble.
Martin Ferk, a Detroit draft pick, never gets talked about.
Yeah, you got the other 2 guys there, or 3 guys rather, when you include goaltender Zachary Fucale. But he's slowly gone about his business. Probably the best thing for him.
Brad Latour, 17-year-old rookie, heads to the net. The puck was shot right on by Scott Lawton, and now we get our first feistiness of the game, and it's Sabourin getting in the face of Brett Ritchie.
Well, that's Sabourin coming to the aid of his teammate. A younger Latour gets bumped by Ritchie right as the play comes to an end, and Sabourin takes exception to that, as he's done all season long with this hockey club. He has matured by leaps and bounds, not only on the ice, but off it as well. And you see Ritchie take a run at Latour, and Sabourin saying, no, you're not going to do that to the youngest guy on our line. And Ritchie not intent on really getting into a scrap, but he and Sabourin there exchanging words with one another.
Well, right now, Sabourin's in the penalty box.
It worked out well for Niagara. I mean, Ritchie goes back to the bench without his helmet. He'll be back out there in the power play, no question. Sabourin goes to the box. But if you're DJ Smith, that's a penalty you don't mind seeing your club take, because you've got the younger Latour out there and you got a big body guy like Ritchie who can do damage in a hurry. And you want to send the message that, you know, your teammates aren't to be fooled around with.
So a power play here for the IceDogs. 0 for 2 with a man advantage in this game. Brandon Perlini moves it to Anthony DeFruscia. Back to Tyler Morton. DeFruscia, the return feed. Matt Petgrave picks that one off and got it to center, no further. Perlini will turn just inside the line. The 16-year-old trying to move it in front. Verhaeghe, a quick move, scores! Carter Verhaeghe dipsy doodles through the slot and scores on the power play, and Niagara's within 1.
Well, it didn't take long, but the Generals had a pretty good opportunity on the near side to get that puck deep, and it just didn't happen. There was some confusion. Petgrave makes a nice play inside the line to chip it out. And as he chases this puck down, there's Petgrave on the step-up. Now there's a chance to get that puck deep, but he loses the handle on it. Turned back the other way. Perlini can't believe he's got that much time. The puck's knocked down by Petgrave, and coming in after is Verhaeghe. Fortuitous bounce right onto the stick of Verhaeghe, and I love the patience. What a great play. Instead of firing it, he goes around the defenseman. Petgrave is down and out and buries it.
An 18-goal scorer in his sophomore season comes up with a big one for the IceDogs here in Game 1. This first-round playoff series against Oshawa, and we're approaching the midway point of the second period, and it's a 1-goal game.
I mean, it lands right on his stick. Petgrave did everything he could to get back in the play, but he knocked it right onto Verhaeghe's stick. Almost tripled his point totals from a year ago.
Josh Brown chases after it. He's in there with Simon Carlson. Carlson's pass. Lesio's up there. Castles gets it to him. Lesio trying to go wide on Broderick Kelly and the rookie defenseman. 17-year-old from St. Catharines. Kelly plays him well. Cole Castles. Where's number 19, the son of Andrew Castles. He's draft eligible. In fact, the top-ranked prospect in this game. Sitting 60th, according to the Central Scouting midterm rankings.
Still able to produce. Really benefited when Lawton and Jenner were out of the lineup. He ended up with some first line minutes, some power play time, and that really sped up his development.
The Niagara IceDogs are making it difficult on the favored Oshawa Generals. It's a great dynamic where it's almost like the second parents and there's a friendship that develops. Why not? You got a cottage, take advantage of it.
Yeah. So much trust has to be with the parents, to give their kids up at a young age.
Yep.
And so the bill, it's hugely important.
Tyler Biggs, he comes in and tried the short side shot but missed. Boone Jenner, Luke Mercer pins him up against the boards. Biggs comes in to help out. Right back to Jenner. Doesn't get much on the shot. Pastorini the save. The wraparound. The puck's loose. It's picked up by Jesse Graham. Now the smooth skating defenseman. Gets it ahead to Strome. That pass was behind Ritchie. Dumped down by the Generals, but they ice it.
Mad scramble in front of Festorini. And the one thing you see in this game from Tyler Biggs, I mean, he is strong. He's hard to knock off the puck, and he can shoot it a ton. It started with a short side shot that missed from Biggs, and then from there, Jenner and Del Cole were able to work down low. But you see Mercer take Del Cole right out of it. It was oh so close to going in. Some hacking and whacking going on in that blue ice.
Pretty good left pad save there, too.
Festorini, tough to follow the puck with all those big bodies around.
Scott Lawton trying to pick up some speed. Now he's got to carry Mac Lemon's stick with him. No penalty coming up, but he couldn't stop Lawton. Oh, what a move by Scott Lawton. Oh, and he's stopped by Chris Festorini. Lawton has put his skills on display, and he's still flying. He's the first man back to get the puck.
He might go again.
Carlisle. His pass doesn't connect with Lawton. Mac Lemon bouncing puck, can't come up with it. Miletta's right behind him and moves it ahead to Trevor Peterson. His shot's right on Daniel Altshuler, and Mac Lemon makes sure there's a little contact on the Generals goalie.
Just a subtle little push right after the whistle is blown. And Lemon's going to pay the price for it. He's on his way to the box. Boy, oh boy, Scott Lawton absolutely electric in this game. There he takes Lemon's stick with him, blows that off, now blows down the right wing, little dipsy-do between the legs, and then brought it back to the forehand. But Festorini was just puck-focused the entire time, didn't give way whatsoever. And then Lawton was the first guy back on the play thereafter. I mean, he's skating way better than I can remember. I remember watching him a lot last year in his draft year. Yeah, first-round pick, but holy, he's motoring tonight.
He has found another level. And that's nothing but good news for Oshawa. Scored in this period on a beautiful shot and then try to beat that rush. You don't see that very often at this level. Generals on the power play, 0 for 2 coming into this opportunity to get back their 2-goal lead. They're offside, though. That's been a problem for them in this game on the power play.
Yeah, it's created some issues, just a little out of sync. Carlisle tried to step up there on the rush, and Del Cole just a little ahead of him, a little late getting out of the zone. And so DJ Smith looks on, and here's a guy with MasterCard Memorial Cup experience in 09 and 10 as an assistant coach to Bob Bugner in the Windsor Spitfires, so he knows what postseason hockey is all about.
Boone Jenner. Columbus pick gets it to Lassio. Luke Mercer intercepts behind his net, finds his spot, and he's able to fire it the length of the ice.
A little more timid back there is Altshuler.
Let the defenseman come and get it. Lassio trying to use his speed. Goes wide. Shipley hooked up as he tried to get it outside the zone. Couldn't do it. Semets to Petgrave. Tapping for it's Lassio. Now he has the puck. Lassio goes down low to Boone Jenner. Jenner to Petgrave. Lassio again. Semets is now in the corner. Semets checked by Shane Rover, and Rover gets just enough of it to get it outside the line. 40 seconds to go in this Generals power play. Petgrave weaves his way into the Niagara zone. Gets it to his defense partner, Šemić. Return feed, Petgrave. Now Lassio. Lassio's shot stopped by Festorini, and he hangs on for a whistle. We've got another update from the studio. Darren.
Talked about Halifax, the big night in the Q. London, the #1 seed in the OHL. Check out the three-way passing play. Max Domi, the finish. He has 1-on-1. And the Knights up 3 early in the second on Saginaw.
A lot expected of the Knights. Regular season champions in the Ontario Hockey League.
Saginaw was the only team to beat them twice last year in the playoffs. And so Jake Patterson in goal. That series is far from over.
Tyler Biggs. Knocked away from him by Graham. Michael Delcole there. It's Biggs that comes up with it. His pass, stand on it, and hard off the glass. Strome made sure that was going the length of the ice. Mac Lemon back on the ice for Niagara. They're back to full strength. And Oshawa can't connect with Delcole at the blue line. Another icing call against Oshawa.
Michael Delcole, we've talked about him throughout the course of this game, but what's so interesting about this guy, who was the captain of the Vaughan Kings last year, is that he came into Oshawa as a natural centerman. And so with some guys at the start of the year, they said, we'll just try him, on the first line. We'll see how it works out. Do you mind playing wing? Nah, I think I can do it. His hockey IQ, they say, is right through the roof.
Pass in front to the Fruscia. Only he was a right shot. Had to kick it to his stick, and by that time, the Generals were right there. Oshawa has a 1-goal lead. Friday night hockey from General Motors Center in Oshawa. Game 1 of this playoff series between the Generals and the Niagara IceDogs. IceDogs scored under 2 minutes into the first, but Generals are clinging to a 1-goal lead now with just under 6 minutes to go in the second. That'll be right on goal for Festorini, and Michael Delcole's on the doorstep. Ryan Shipley gets in his face, and now everybody's pairing off.
That play was slow to develop, and I thought Festorini, realizing that it was coming right at him, would have gone out and played that puck. And instead, at the last second, he decided to cover it up, and that's why Delcole was gangbusters going into him. And you can see a discussion now with the defenseman Shipley and with the goaltender Festorini as to how to better communicate the next time this situation arises. And there's an opportunity, and Shipley is pointing to throw it into that left corner, and instead Festorini covered it up, and Shipley had to come to his defense thereafter. So sometimes it takes just a little conversation to get it straightened out the next time around.
Strome and Jenner, another face-off, a win by Jenner. Luke Mercer bumped by Delcole, knocked down by Delcole, still trying to poke the puck ahead. Jenner intercepts along the boards. Mercer's right back up. That is some hard work along the boards by Luke Mercer, and the puck is cleared by the IceDogs. Petgrave will have to hurry. Brett Ritchie closing on it. Petgrave makes a pretty nifty move in the corner to elude that forecheck.
He didn't want any part of Ritchie bearing down on him, that's for sure.
Mercer puts it off the glass. This will have plenty to be icing on Niagara.
It's funny, we come off the CIS University Cup last week where in the icings you can't change, and in the Western Hockey League it's the same thing. I think the Ontario Hockey League really needs to adopt that rule, and I know they get worried about having so many young players out on the ice in that situation and getting tired and putting themselves at risk for injury, but really, how many times do you have a great number of younger players out at the same time? It does happen, but not that frequent.
Scott Lawton's out there again. Scott Lawton walking into the slot, couldn't get a shot. Carlisle, that one's blocked in front. Tyler Moore tried to poke it loose. Mac Lemon has it now for Niagara. Carlisle takes a hit from Peterson. Lawton's down there, makes a pass right onto the tape of Latour. Scott Sabrin, 30-goal scorer, can't get a shot. Latour has it poked away by Mort before he can shoot. Latour drops it off for Scott Lawton. Lawton finds an open man. That's Carlisle. His shot is blocked by Mac Lemon. Niagara starting to get in the shooting lanes. Carlisle dumps it down low. Lawton using his back to shield Rover. One way, then the other. Lawton still with it. Lawton's shot, that's right on. The rebound goes to Šemić. He golfed at it and it went wide. Lesio hustles in to get the loose puck.
So determined with Lawton to get that shot.
Maleta wraps it around. Some pressure here by the Generals. Finally, Lemon gets Carlisle to back off, and he'll head to the bench for a change. Kopta has it taken away. Ryan Hughes, his pass goes outside the zone. Lucas Lesio gives it away. Fitzmaurice gets to the line. Generals trying to maintain some possession. The two Hughes brothers very out there. Number 18 for Oshawa and number 25 for Niagara. And Brian Hughes for Oshawa is the older brother. Mentioned a younger brother, Ben, that probably won't go much more than 4 games in these playoffs.
Brotherly rivalries that fire things up even further between these two Eastern Conference clubs.
I want to be careful. Ben's going to be a big boy when he's 19 like Ryan. Already over 6 feet. Michael Dalcole. He was looking dangerous on that rush. Tyler Biggs comes up with it, backhands it through the blue paint, out of the reach of Dalcole. Medgrave keeps it in, puts it over to Boone Jenner. Jenner spins, does a 360, maintains possession. Jenner down low. Biggs will go after it against Fitzmaurice. Michael Dalcole in there trying to pick that puck loose, and he does. Rover pins Dalcole up against the boards. Dalcole making that job difficult. Puck comes loose. Dalcole being held up. Penalty coming up. Finally, Niagara touches the puck. The whistle goes, and the IceDogs will be shorthanded.
Credit this penalty to Michael Dalcole. I mean, he's just bearing down, working so hard in the forecheck in the corner, and he won't be denied. I mean, Rover is a much older player, but Dalcole showing no signs of the weakness that most 16-year-olds have. I mean, look at him battling with Rover in good position. And then it gets into a situation later where Boone Jenner wants to join the fray, and Shipley knocks him on his can. What a shift by Dalcole. That line, I mean, that's what makes this Oshawa team so tough. You know, you throw out this Lawton, Sabourin line with Lesio, and you have that top line with Jenner, Dalcole, and Biggs. That's 2 tough lines to deal with.
Oshawa on the power play late in the second period. Jeffrey Šemić. Overage defenseman. Holding onto the puck, looking for somebody open. Lesio takes a bump from Graham, gets knocked down. Lesio moves the puck ahead, and it's cleared by Niagara. Matt Petgrave tied for 7th among defensemen in points in the OHL during the regular season. Lawton can't get past Carter Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe trying to get a shorthanded rush. Petgrave makes sure that didn't happen. The skating room for Scott Lawton. Lawton, nice move as he gets in over the line. Drops it back to Petgrave, over to Šemić. Petgrave to Lucas Lesio. That shot blocked by DeFruscia, and that hurt. DeFruscia slow to get up. Maybe Generals caught a break there because DeFruscia might have been gone. Sabourin gets it in front. Jenner looking for a loose puck. Carter Verhaeghe comes up with it, and he clears it down the ice, and that will give DeFruscia a chance to get a change.
He is struggling. He's struggling to get there right now.
Another offside on Oshawa on the power play. Second intermission, just 41.8 seconds away. What's coming up, Darren?
Guys, there's ways to make a statement in a playoff opener and methods you should probably stay away from. Nick Kypreos and John Shannon with an example of the latter, and we'll complete the story on that stunner in the QMJHL between St. John and Halifax. Believe it or not, St. John has kind of found their feet a little bit. It's coming up in the second intermission.
Isn't that something? On one big upset already in the QMJHL. Victoriaville 3-0 over Moncton.
Boone Jenner can't get far. Carlisle over to Sullencroft. Michael Dalcole. Jenner and Carlisle, a little mix-up. That's okay. They still have it. Carlisle puts it on, deflected by Biggs. Graham knocks Biggs down. Final 15 seconds of the period. The crowd at General Motors Center wanted a penalty. They didn't get it. 3 Ice Dogs up to the line as they're back to full strength. Shipley's back on the ice, but they couldn't get it in over the line without going offside.
Well, Biggs going after Graham, and he is some sort of hot. I mean, Graham had him behind the net down in his knees and administered 3 or 4 cross checks to his back. There's one, and then as he goes down, there's a huge one in the back, and that's the one that stung Biggs. Biggs waited, and at the end of the play, he went right at Graham, threw a couple of punches his way, but there's no way Graham wants to get into anything extracurricular with Biggs. But I understand, as a small guy, you've got to use your stick in a way which intimidates the opponent. And oddly enough, it's that retaliatory penalty by Biggs that sends him off, and Graham's back out there for the power play.
Very late in the second period, Graham off the face-off, and that will even things up pretty quick. Ryan Strome called on interference, and he's getting a little extra too. The unsportsmanlike conduct.
And now Ritchie will come over, and he'll try and defend the actions of his good buddy and his line mate. And that's not going to work because Strome's going to head right to the dressing room. See Strome right off the draw with Lawton. Turns him around, and Lawton does a nice sales job. And you know what? After that Biggs penalty, after Biggs took the cross checks, Niagara was ripe. They were sitting in the wings. At some point they were ripe to get a penalty, and that's exactly what happened. And so the extra added no good for Marty Williamson because Strome's a guy they can ill afford to lose for an extended period of time.
And Marty Williamson wants to have a chat, but 4 minutes on the board for Ryan Strome. Only 2.9 seconds left here in the second period. No,
rather calm. Marty Williamson on the bench with that explanation.
Well, this is a big face-off, and it's no surprise Oshawa has Boone Jenner out there. Normally Ryan Strome would be the guy against him. Stephen Shipley will come in off the wing. He'll have to take this draw. And Niagara able to control off the face-off, and that will do it for the second period. But things getting interesting late in that period. Now Ryan Strome for almost a full 4 minutes won't be around unless Oshawa scores, and either way it's bad news for Niagara.
Oddly enough, RJ, it's Niagara that wants to try and pull Oshawa off its game, but it's been somewhat the other way around.
The Generals dominated the start of that period. They were up 3-1, but a big goal by Niagara ensures we'll have an interesting third period ahead. Lawton's having a career year. He's played in fewer games and has more points. 4-on-4 to start this third period. The Oshawa Generals in game 1 of this playoff series have a 1-goal lead. We'll play 4-on-4 for the next minute 45, and then Oshawa will go on a power play. Ryan Strome, a guy the Ice Dogs can ill afford to lose for very long, took a double minor late in that second. Verhaeghe, his shot. Chris Carlisle just got a stick on it. Graham throws it down low. Michael Dalcole picks up some speed, leads the rush for Oshawa. Graham moves it to his defense partner Mercer. Now Brandon Perlini. Puck just rolled off his stick. Chemich takes over for Oshawa. Dalcole knocks it down at center. Has to get by Verhaeghe. Stalemate between those two, and now Niagara takes over. Final minute of 4-on-4. Mitchell Fitzmaurice going wide with some speed, and the veteran overager Matt Petgrave played him well. Scott Lawton, we've seen how dangerous he can be with some skating room. He's got some now. Gives it over to Boone Jenner. Boone Jenner cuts into the high slot. Too many Ice Dogs there to make anything happen. Petgrave makes a move at the line. Another move. Petgrave working his way in. Drops it off to Chemich. There's traffic in front. That one hits Jenner. He's slow to get up. Chemich, Lawton. Now Festorini lost his stick. He's able to get it back. Lawton still has the puck. Jenner making his way to the bench, and he's banged up. Petgrave. The jet for Chemich. Pass to Lawton's broken up by Mort. Jordan Maletta slowly out of his own zone. A soft dump in won't be icing. Tyler Biggs standing up in the penalty box. He's back on the ice. Now the Oshawa Generals have a 2-minute power play. Cole Castles dumps it in. Can't come up with it. Stephen Shipley steals. Sends it into the Oshawa zone. Solentrop will have to be careful. Brett Ritchie right behind him.
Just lurking in the weeds, Ritchie, hoping that Solentrop will cough it up.
Now Ritchie has it. 41 goals during the regular season. Can't get a shorthanded chance this time. Castles to Lesio. He gains the zone. Lesio right back down low to Castles. Lesio back to the line. Carlisle returns the feed to Lesio. Lesio takes a bump from Jesse Graham, and now Mercer able to send it the length of the ice.
Tony talked to Carter Verhaeghe about the IceDogs skill, and it has been effective in this game, and it continues to be. Lots of pressure, not allowing Oshawa to get set up in the offensive zone.
Jenner back on the ice. That's good news for Oshawa. Scott Sabrin tried to move it back to Šemić. It came outside the line. Jenner has the puck now. He gives it away. Carter Verhaeghe lost it to Šemić. Now Sabrin. 30 goals on the season for Sabrin. Can't hit the net. Carter Verhaeghe down the ice. Now down to 30 seconds to go in this Oshawa power play. Daniel Altshuler trying to catch the IceDogs on a change. Good eye-hand coordination by Maletta to knock that pass down. Maletta takes a shot right on. Matt Lemon was there. Altshuler bumps with Lemon.
We have Lemon open in front of the net.
Maletta, another chance shorthanded. The puck's loose, but Oshawa gets the whistle.
It's interesting. I've been watching Altshuler really closely this game, and you know, John talked about it at the intermission, his kind of lack of urgency in playing the puck. But the one thing I've really noticed is his glove hand. He never seems to be sure when that puck goes to his glove hand. And even on the cover-up play, which is why there was some activity after the whistle, that there's been some issues. You see Altshuler just kind of slow and lackadaisical in covering it up. We saw it net side earlier in the game. You see that case of it right there. You'd just like to see more urgency in his game. This guy's got all the tools in the world.
Cole Castles behind the net, leaves it for Dal Cole. Ryan Strome is back on the ice. Niagara back to full strength, but still hemmed in. Oh, rung off the post by Josh Brown. Niagara still within one, and now the dangerous Ryan Strome's over the line. He makes a good move. Strome trying to cut it in short side. Shipley can't corral it in front of the net. Mercer to Strome. That low shot just trickles wide. Hit a couple of bodies.
I think Strome wants to make amends for taking that double minor. He realizes he can't put his team at that kind of disadvantage. He came out of the penalty box just flying.
Brett Ritchie back to the line. Graham tried to find Shipley going to the net. He was all tied up with Castles.
Good defensive play by Castles. That's what makes scouts like him so much, the ability to play in all three zones.
Strome was left alone in front of the net when the Generals failed to clear. Now Dal Cole will get that icing whistle.
Yeah, and this is where I'd really like to see that rule change. I mean, Oshawa's hemmed up. Now they'll get the opportunity to change, but dead square off the post. Net rattles just a little bit, and then a little later, Strome with an opportunity from the slot just chips it towards the net. It never actually made its way to Altshuler because of the bodies there in front, but a good chip for Strome coming out of the box.
Mac Lemon, first on the puck. Hard pass back to Broderick Kelly. The rookie defenseman, a deflected shot, and Daniel Altshuler, the Carolina prospect, able to hang with it the whole way and hang on. Let's check in with Tony.
Well, RJ, you and Sam will be very busy over the next few months crisscrossing the country for CHL playoff action. We have CHL playoff action every Friday night right to the MasterCard Memorial Cup. Our next game, next Friday, WHL play, Prince Albert and Red Deer.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. Should be a pretty evenly matched series.
Yeah, the Prince Albert Raiders really had a tough second half and fell into that 5 spot. Red Deer able to corral the 4th spot in that Eastern Conference.
Another face-off win for Niagara. Starting to win some face-offs here in the third period. Ryan Shipley Dumps it right back into the Oshawa zone. Scott Sabourin will skate it out. Good communication by the IceDogs, but then a giveaway by Lemon, and Scott Lawton puts it right back in deep. Carlisle, the 18-year-old from New Jersey. Pass ahead to Sabourin. The whistle goes. Sabourin goes right to Shane Rover.
A lot of interesting things going on. Lemon's being escorted to the box. He's no stranger to being there. That's a guy that Marty Williamson really wanted to focus on drawing Oshawa off his game. And to see Mac Lemon did that continuation, the puck is well gone and already center ice when he completes that hit. Carlisle somewhat unsuspecting, and Lemon just trying to finish his check, but a little late.
Mac Lemon fourth in the OHL in penalty minutes, but not a good time to take one here. IceDogs down by one. Generals haven't capitalized on the power play in this game. Chance to increase their lead. Sabourin behind the net. Petgrave over to Shemich. Now Scott Lawton. Petgrave. Jenner. Sabourin. Oh, what a save by Chris Festorini. Great puck movement by the Generals, but they didn't fool Festorini.
Tyler Mort on the doorstep to help out his goaltender Festorini. Picked up past the midway mark of the season was Tyler Mort from York University. And Festorini, I love the job he does in following the puck. He's sliding left, he's sliding right, he gets into the splits, and a little help from Mort allows him to make this save, but a good stick lift there on Jenner by Rover.
Minute 25 to go in the Generals' power play. Graham being forechecked by Jenner. Sabourin steals along the boards. Scott Lawton quickly over to Petgrave. He'll just dump it down low. Boone Jenner, first man to it, takes a hit. Gets it to Shemich. Petgrave back to Shemich. Jenner lobs one toward the front of the net. Mercer got in front of it. Now he sends it down the ice.
So impressed with Niagara's penalty kill in this game. When you're talking about a couple of high-end units that this Oshawa team can throw out there, Niagara's made them look very pedestrian.
Carter Verhaeghe steals. Can't get it out. Chance for Shane Rover, the overage defenseman, to do so, and he makes it good.
It's a coaching technique we saw earlier in the year where you just trying to fire it at that face-off dot outside the blue line because you know everyone's going to be pinching in on the boards.
Rover, another good play on this penalty kill. Michael Dalcole slowly over the line. Brescio, he gets away from Verhaeghe. Shot by Dalcole. That didn't miss by much. Sullencroft over to Carlisle. There's a shot. The save made by Festorini. Niagara takes possession. Mac Lemon's out of the penalty box. IceDogs back to full strength. Another good penalty kill by Niagara.
Really, really aggressive. Not without a couple of good chances from Oshawa, however. And if you're Niagara, you can't continue to give Oshawa that many opportunities with an extra man.
Ryan Strome trying to make his way to the front of the net. Oh, he got a shot in the toe of Daniel Altshuler. Kicked out and made that save, and they'll get in the face of Ryan Strome. Oshawa clinging to that one-goal lead. Well, Oshawa, whether it's their game plan or not, it's a good strategy. Ryan Strome's back in the penalty box. Coincidentals at the end of that play. Boone Jenner coming in dangerously 4-on-4. Stephen Shipley. He's out there with Graham and Ritchie. Graham's down low. Nobody covering for him. A chance for Lawton now. Heading to the front of the net, Josh Brown. Now he's caught down low, but that's okay. Boone Jenner was back. So his defenseman was in deep. Petgrave in front of his own net. There's the circle, and Ritchie's at the end of a shift. Can't maintain that forecheck.
RJ, I agree with you when you talked about Strome and trying to throw him off his game. It's worked for Oshawa.
Lawton, he's been dangerous as he gets ahead of steam 4-on-4. Chris Festorini up to the task this time.
Yeah, Lawton can really fire the puck. We saw that on his goal in the second period coming down that left wing, but a good defensive play here by Luke Mercer. And you'll see right off the draw, Oshawa gets a partial 2-on-1, but Mercer throws his stick out and takes a chance away from Boone Jenner.
Tyler Mort, he doesn't have much time with the speedy Lucas Lacio forechecking. Shane Rover will go to the corner against Michael Dalcourt. Pass made to Carter Verhaeghe. Berlini heading to the front of the net, and he just couldn't hold up. He went offside.
Yeah, RJ, and I want to go back to that point. I mean, Niagara's plan coming into this game was that they felt that they might be able to get under the skin of Oshawa and maybe goad them into some bad penalties or lose, just lose a little bit, maybe be frustrated. But it's worked the other way around, and Oshawa has done that exact thing with Ryan Strome. Ryan Strome's a great player, but he can't do anything from the penalty box, and he's been in there far too often in this game.
Well, it'll be 6 minutes in this third period that he's spent in that penalty box, and that is too much when you're down by a goal. Lucas Lacio, there's a shot that just missed. Lacio's on his own rebound. How's that for speed? Gives it to Šemić. They'll move it down low. Michael Dalcourt battles with Rover. There's Lacio doing another lap. Can't maintain possession this time. Brandon Perlini, 16-year-old for Niagara. Perlini around one man. Now a one-on-one. Got a good shot away. Altshuler batted it to the corner. Graham, his shot. That's off the stick. Knocked down by Tyler Biggs. Biggs trying to send Jenner the other way. Graham had to be careful, and a good stick there. Put Jenner offside.
Jenner going right after Graham thereafter to try and goad him into a penalty, and the Generals captain won't get the officials to bite. Boone Jenner's one of those guys who plays a hard, heavy game, and I think he's at his best when he's playing physical, when he's right on that edge. Give him the odd penalty here and there, and you know he's right where he should be.
Sullentrop and Strome back on the ice, back to 5-on-5. Graham will have to hurry. Latour's in on the forecheck, gets the pass to Andrej Kokta. Import from the Czech Republic. Rolls one on Altshuler. He redirects it for his defenseman Tekle. Jordan Maleta's over there to keep it in. Maleta takes a hard hit by Latour, and that gets a cheer from the crowd at General Motors Center. Ryan Shipley got to that loose puck ahead of Tyler Biggs. Past the midway point of the third period. Generals leading 3-2. And that pass out of the reach of DeFruscia. And the IceDogs ice the puck. Back to 5-on-5. Can the IceDogs make a late surge?
Thank you very much.
That's high praise when you're 16. Latour, loose puck in front. And speaking of young players, the rookie, Bradley Latour, 17-year-old from the high slot shoves it. And at a key point in the game, the Generals move back ahead by 2.
Well, you go back to the 2011 draft in the 4th round. Latour was chosen by the Oshawa Generals, and thanks to a good face-off win, it's rather possession. I mean, Niagara wins it. Mort can't handle it as Strome wins it back to him, and from there, Oshawa is able to take advantage, and that's why you go hard off the face-off right there. Bradley Latour's first goal of this postseason, and he goes top shelf. He made sure that Festorini wasn't getting any of it.
Latour had 11 goals during the regular season. Boone Jenner directs it into the Niagara end. Now it'll be a tough uphill climb for the IceDogs. They've got their big guns out there, though. Ritchie moves it to Jesse Graham. The defenseman moves it in a little deeper into that Oshawa zone, but Boone Jenner finds an open defenseman. It's Jeffrey Šemić. His pass out of the reach of Dalcourt, and it's icing against the Generals.
Brilliant play by the Oshawa Generals. I mean, you lose the draw, and because of that pressure, Mort's forced to cough up the puck. And once he does that, tic-tac and toe right off the bar and down.
Not a bad beard for a 17-year-old either.
Yeah, that spray stuff works pretty good.
Chris Carlisle gets the pass to Castles. Carlisle's knocked down. That gets a reaction out of the crowd. Sabourin, the lone assist on the Latour goal. Maletta trying to slide it to Mac Lemon instead of taking the shot. Justice Dundas. He's another tough customer on the Oshawa Generals. They have a few guys that can handle themselves all right, but just couldn't stay onside this time.
McGuire, Sabourin, and there's Colin Sulentrop, who's a Philadelphia draft pick. An interesting story. He grew up in Plantation, Florida, and had the option to play soccer or roller hockey, and that's where he learned to ply his trade. So played roller hockey, became pretty good, joined a team coached by former Florida Panther Ray Shepard, and then moved up to Michigan to play his minor midget hockey for Detroit CompuWare. And lo and behold, selected by the Philadelphia Flyers in the 2011 draft.
Under 8 minutes to go here in the third. Puck redirected in by Verhaeghe, but he was 6 feet on the wrong side of center. The insurance goal of the game is brought to you by your local insurance broker. To score your insurance goal, your best insurance is an insurance broker.
It's the Niagara IceDogs who win this draw back, but Tyler Moore can't handle it. Sabourin in there right away. Beautiful backhand pass. It misses the first attempted player in Lawton, but Bradley Latour is right there, and he makes no mistake.
Pat Petgrave puts that on goal. Sabourin was in front of the net. Mercer to the smooth skating Jesse Graham. Puts a pass ahead to Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe, all kinds of sticks, able to get it inside the general zone. Couldn't maintain possession, and Sabourin's the other way. Graham, a heads-up play to pick that one off before Scott Lawton was going in. Graham just misses a hip check from Petgrave. Sulentrop, he bumps with Graham. Now Brett Ritchie. Shot from Rover. That hit the skate of Verhaeghe, went wide. Another chance for Rover. That's off a stick and goes up over the glass, over the net, and we're going to have a scrap. Tyler Biggs and Brett Ritchie, two guys known for their scoring, drop the gloves. Maple Leaf draft pick is Biggs. Dallas draft pick is Ritchie. These two have combined for over 70 goals this year. And Biggs gets twisted around. Linesman in there trying to break it up. They're still throwing some shots. Now, this is game one of this playoff series. Biggs and Ritchie drop the mitts.
Tough one for the linesman on that occasion. He got right in the mix of everything. Mike Hamilton and Jordan Brown right in the middle of it. There's Ritchie. He'll chase Biggs down. And the two of them will circle back up again. And Biggs just delivers what Ritchie thought was an elbow. Said, hey, that's not going to work. And so trying to fire up his team, Ritchie decides to drop the gloves. Biggs leaking a little bit off that nose, but no big deal, really. And you want to talk about a couple of big boys and a couple of strong guys? Ooh, man. That's why if you're the linesman, you want to be awfully sure that when you get in the middle of those two big bodies that they've stopped throwing.
And that's the other guy Niagara doesn't want to see in the penalty box. And he'll sit there for 5, and there's 6 minutes and 46 seconds remaining. Josh Brown puts it off the glass. Up there's Boone Jenner. Michael Delcole heading to the front of the net. Jenner walks in, puts that off the post. Boone Jenner, a great chance. Might get another one here. Brian Strome intercepts. Not out yet. Strome has to come back, and he just finds an open area to put that puck. Now Jenner. He has Strome down. Captains for both teams, teammates on Team Canada at the World Junior Hockey Championship for the past 2 seasons.
No friends here in the playoffs. And I think Oshawa's done a brilliant job in setting the tone here and pulling Ryan Strome off his game. Now, Strome didn't retaliate on that occasion, and that's the first time where he wasn't turned sideways. And Jenner goes to the box, but for Strome, this is the first time in this game where he's shown some restraint, because all game long, Oshawa's been adamant trying to pull him off his game. Far end of the ice there. Strome goes to the box there. A little interference on Scott Lawton. Throws his hands up in the air. Ritchie trying to claim for Strome, who ended up getting an extra 2 on the occasion. And Sullentrop gets in his grill. That forced him to the box. All told, Ryan Strome's been in the box for 8 minutes in this game. Now you add Ritchie's 2. That's 10 minutes with your 2 best forwards out of the game. Or 5, rather, for Ritchie. So now you're looking at 13 minutes without your 2 best guys. I mean, that's just not going to cut it. And these guys are going to be pushed to the limit all series long by Oshawa. I mean, I know how DJ Smith works, and I know how he coaches, and he's got a couple of tough guys that he can throw out there, and he knows that he can get under the skin of Strome especially.
Well, it's not a secret with Niagara if you can keep those 2 horses, Strome and Ritchie, off the scoreboard, and you can do that pretty easily if they're sitting in the penalty box, you're probably going to win.
And you're looking at 2 forwards that at this point are probably playing 24 minutes a game, 25 minutes a game.
Power play here for Niagara. Strome is out there. Couldn't connect on that pass, and the Generals will make them start from their own zone.
But there is no question in my mind that that's going to be the key for DJ Smith. He is going to key on those guys and get in their faces every single chance he can.
Jordan Maletta with some skating room. Maletta has it in the corner. Drops it off for Strome. Now Mercer. Touch pass back to Strome. Jesse Graham's pinched down low. Shipley was in front of the net, but the pass didn't connect. And now Brian Hughes goes the other way, content to get to center and dump it in.
You know what it reminded me of, RJ? We were at a game in Drummondville earlier this year when Halifax was there, and they were hacking and whacking and all over Nathan McKinnon and Jonathan Drouin. And it did pull them off their game on a couple of occasions in that one as well.
You got it.
Jesse Graham gets the puck to settle behind the net. Over to Rover. Aggressive penalty kill here by the Generals. Niagara having trouble coming out of their own zone. Verhaeghe lofts one in. Couple of bounces. Altshuler leaves it there for Scott Lawton. Can't get it out. Tyler Mort kept it in. The overage defenseman. Shot. That whistled wide. Verhaeghe in front. Oh, missing. And that was DeFrusia. What a pass by Verhaeghe. DeFrusia couldn't put it on goal. Now the other way, shorthanded. Lawton and Lesio. Lesio, shot saved Pastorini. Brandon Perlini gets it to DeFrusia. Again, can't hit the net. He takes a bump from DeFrusia. And that will wind up a penalty on DeFrusia.
This will be a check to the head call. And DeFrusia had his man in a vulnerable position where he was bent over, and DeFrusia just continued to forge forward with the body check. And what would have been a body check, because the opposition player was bent over, ends up a check right to the head. You see how Petgraves just kind of bent over there, and DeFrusia bumps right into him. And DeFrusia with an opportunity. It looks like Altshuler might have got the end of his stick on it, but he didn't get nearly enough on it as he would have liked, or else that would have made things awfully interesting.
Well, now it's 4-on-4. Boone Jenner was given 4 minutes for roughing up Ryan Strome. So he'll be in the penalty box for a while yet. Cole Castle's putting on a clinic against 2 IceDogs. Mercer knocks him down, gets back up. Better be careful. Castles gets a cheer from the crowd at GM Center. Castles might not be done. Wants a piece of Mercer, and the linesmen are right there before Castles and Mercer can get going.
Well, it's just a matter of time before Castles is going to be frustrated, because he was getting the business for a good 10-15 seconds from Mercer.
Game 1 of a playoff series. Messages are being sent. Oshawa is in control on Friday Night Hockey.
The linesmen get in there in a hurry.
Imagine some of those practices DJ Smith has, the way the Generals are able to shield the puck. So many of their forwards so good at that. They must have some battles in those practices. Lawton walks in. Sabourin's in front. Festorini's down. Puck's loose. That's put off the side of the net by Lawton.
Look at Festorini, never giving up.
Gotta love it. 4-on-3 power play here for Oshawa. Not much room in the penalty boxes. Plenty on the ice. Alessio along the boards. Sabourin trying to help out. Rover doing some good work. Got it to the line, and it will get out past Petgrave. Alessio's pass just misses Lawton. Under 3 minutes to go in the third period. Generals lead by 2. Petgrave will bring it into the Niagara zone himself. Tight quarters with Michael Dalcourt. Maletta pokes it loose. They're covering up as Scott Lawton. Lawton has scored in this game. Philadelphia first rounder can't get far. This time, Alessio with that good speed couldn't fool Jesse Graham, and IceDogs send it down again, and Lawton's garnering some attention as he heads to the players' bench.
You talked about sending messages, RJ. Yeah, it's the first game, and there's definitely that element to it, but it's also setting a tone for game number 2.
Boone Jenner back on the ice. And in front has a great chance to score, and Chris Festorini has been solid as he faces his 30th shot of the night.
Friday Night Hockey on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Old Dutch, the official chip of the CHL. With Old Dutch, quality lives here. By your local insurance broker. Your best insurance is an insurance broker. By Cal Tire. Talk to Cal at any of the 240 locations across Canada or shop online at caltire.com. Cal Tire, true service. And by MasterCard. For everything you need to compete this season, there's MasterCard.
Final few seconds of the penalty to Niagara, so now they'll be back to full strength. We'll play 5-on-5. Under 2 minutes to go. Boone Jenner going coast to coast, and Festorini there to foil that plan.
Jenner looking for a hooking call, but won't get it, and the captain at times has been electric in this game. I tell you, give a lot of credit to Festorini, though. I mean, this team's down a couple of goals. He could have folded up the tent, packed up, and gone home, but he has not given up on one puck tonight. He's been solid in goal, and had to make another big stop against that guy, Boone Jenner.
Well, it's a 2-goal lead, minute 37 to go. Brett Ritchie is out of the penalty box now after that fighting major against Tyler Biggs. They're both available to their teams, and you know Marty Williamson will want to get big number 20 out there.
Trying to get things sorted out as to who should be in the box, when, where, and why. Hughes is the last man standing.
Finally has a place to sit.
He gone.
Well, this is the big line for the Niagara IceDogs. Brian Strome, Brett Ritchie, Stephen Shipley, all 30-plus goals. Brian Strome was 6th in the OHL in points. And Luke Mercer, his time in the box wasn't quite done.
Because there were so many in there, they had to have a sub to go in there with Mercer to serve the extra. And so it wasn't Hughes who deserved to be there. He was just serving. And so they bring Mercer back.
Face-off win for Oshawa, deflected in front by Biggs. Shipley slices one ahead to Brett Ritchie. Kane Rover will join the rush. Festorini's heading to the bench for the extra attacker, and Daniel Altshuler hangs on, and there'll be a face-off inside that Oshawa zone. We've got another update. Let's go back to the studio. Darren.
RJ, not a single scrap in the opener between London and Saginaw, but plenty of scoring. Max Domi has 2 goals and an assist. They're in control.
The London Knights poised to make another deep run into the spring.
Off the face-off, Ritchie tried to spin and fire. Couldn't get the shot away. Boone Jenner maintaining possession. That's empty for Niagara. Extra attackers out there. IceDogs down by 2. Final minute of the third period. Ritchie tied on with Biggs. Lawton poked at that puck. Jesse Graham steals it. In over the line is Graham. Going to the front of the net, Smoletta. Puck was up high. Ritchie couldn't knock it down, and Generals cleared outside the zone. Shipley got to the line, poked away by Scott Lawton. Lawton with the open net, and that will do it. A big game for Scott Lawton. He scores twice, and the Oshawa Generals are en route to a Game 1 win in this playoff series against Niagara.
A solid play by Lawton here at the line, and a smart play by Lawton once he gets through the neutral zone, making sure to gain center ice. Long pass cross ice to Strome. Lawton steps up. Now he goes wide to buy himself that space to make sure he's over center. And great precision on the shot down the ice, the 100-footer.
Scott Lawton.
Very impressive.
Not only had those 2 goals, but had the move of the game, an end-to-end rush. The Generals, we thought their offensive depth would be a factor in this series. And even though Niagara scored a minute 51 into the game, it's that depth, the wave, the quality forwards that Oshawa can throw at you that's been the difference. Final few seconds of Game 1. Johnny McGuire out there. Sabarin's out there just to make sure nobody tries to get too fancy. Justice Dundas, how's that for a line? Sabarin, Dundas, and Johnny McGuire. That's pretty tough 3 up front for Oshawa.
Tim City.
Well, the Oshawa Generals come through in Game 1. A 5-2 victory against the Niagara IceDogs.